vanish.
Hey, what's happening to you guys? It's Extreme here and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super episode 66. I just got done watching it. It was a pretty awesome episode animation wise. The quality of it was pretty dope. The way that they drew out the characters was awesome as well. It was very epic and action packed, so I really liked that. But story wise, there was something in the story of that final episode that kind of got me confused as hell, and I might be wrong in this because, you know, I am a fan of Dragon Ball, you know, lore and all that stuff, but I'm not heavily invested into it, so I may have missed something that maybe most of you guys probably knew about. But I feel like Vegito using up his energy with the final Kamehameha while being fused with the Potaro Airing didn't make sense, because it's not a simple fusion dance where it really relies on a time limit. The Potaro Airing has no time limit and has no weakness like that, where if you use up all of your energy you end up defusing, because it really doesn't make any sense to me. Because if you look at Zamuza, who did the exact same thing, and he was using some godlike abilities, like abilities that will definitely, you know, look like they need a lot of energy to pull off, and he still maintained his fusion. So for Vegito to defuse like that, it felt like a cop-out to me, just to allow Trunks to come in and become the final hero, which I actually wanted. Like, mind you, I actually wanted Trunks to be the one to defeat Zamuza, but the way that they carried it out, it didn't fit well, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know what I can say. I mean, like, if Zamuza had defeated Vegito, then okay, see, if he'd done that, then obviously there was no way in hell that Trunks would be able to defeat Zamuza because of the strength difference. But I guess that's the only way they could have done it. I didn't like it, to be honest, really. It doesn't really make sense. And also the new addition that they added with the whole rule that you know, Potaro Airings for mortal beings only last for 1 hour. So that's something that we didn't know about, you know, obviously in the earlier days of Dragon Ball. We were told that once two beings are fused with the Potaro Airing, they can never unfuse again. So with this new addition, I don't know if this can be considered a plot hole or not, because you would think that the Supreme Kai from our Earth would know such an information and would tell Goku and Vegeta to the point of them fusing, because let's face it, if Goku and Vegeta had known that their fusion would only last for 1 hour, the fight could have gone out completely differently, and Vegeta wouldn't have hesitated that much to, you know, fuse together, I guess. I don't know. I think he still would, but it really didn't make sense that just now, after all these years, there's actually a rule where mortal beings who use the Potaro Airings can only last for 1 hour or something like that. It's kind of crazy, but yeah. And then we have Trunks coming in with a new ability. He was able to manifest his will into a new sword, which by the way looks pretty dope as well. I'm still confused on how he did that, but he was able to do it though. Like Trunks is displaying some really badass abilities, and he's learning them as he get angrier, because, you know, as you guys know, Saiyans get stronger the angrier they become. So for him to be able to do that, that's pretty dope as well. Like, I feel like the Saiyans are some ancient race that maybe used to rule the universe, but now, you know, they've gone down. I don't know, like the way that the Saiyans are being portrayed in this, you know, arc is pretty interesting. Then he goes in and fights Zamuza with the best of his abilities. Obviously he's struggling, then all of a sudden everyone unwillingly lends him his energy, and he somehow manifests the Super Spirit Bomb above him, which is pretty interesting to me. And then he goes and manifests that energy into his sword and turns that sword into, which I'm gonna dub Super Spirit Sword, just for the sake of me explaining what I'm talking about. And then he goes up into the Spirit Ball that was already above him, merges with it, the same way how Goku once did it with his Spirit Bomb. He absorbed the Spirit Bomb to give him energy, and he goes in and he slices up Zamuza in half, like clean in half, and that's pretty much how he is defeated. He gets clean cut in half. So that was pretty interesting to me. it wasn't really anticlimactic because the speeches that was going on between the dialogue that was going on between Trunks and Zamoza was very interesting. You know, Zamoza, which by the way, Zamoza actually cried. Like, he teared up as he was talking about him being a god and all that stuff. That was kind of weird in my opinion. That threw me off a little bit. I was like, I think he's actually the first villain to cry in a battle. So that automatically debunks him down a little bit in my list, because when a villain cries, it's like, what? Boy, what you doing? Like, but anyways, he cries obviously beforehand, but then, you know, in this fight, he still talks about being a god and all that stuff, and you know, Trunks is telling him, no, it doesn't really matter, gods, mortals, it doesn't really matter, it's all about how we live together in peace and all that crazy stuff. And he goes in, he slices him up, and that's the end of Zamoza, to be honest, really. Overall, that was the entire arc wasn't disappointing to me. It was actually a pretty good arc. There were some plot holes all over the place, to be honest, really, with the whole tower airing having a 1 hour limit, Vegeta able to use up the fusion with the final Kamehameha, which is, what? Like, come on. You know, Zamoza crying. Okay, see, that's not a plot hole, but that's already a negative mark for me anyways. Yeah, it's crazy. So, and in the preview of the episode, we saw the Omni King showing up. I don't know if he's showing up to fix time loops and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be, or is he showing up just to tell Goku and Vegeta of the tournament. We don't know about that yet, because obviously Zamoza is defeated, so there's no need for Omni King to show up anymore. We saw everyone smiling and saying goodbye to Trunks, who's now going back to his own time and all that crazy stuff. So let me just quickly talk about the fusion of Zamoza. Now, with the way that they demonstrated it and the way they showcased it, it felt like, you know, his body was split in complete half. I thought a fusion would take two beings and make them into one completely new being. So basically, there shouldn't be a half of. I know it's half Zamoza and half Black Goku, but as a fusion, that concept should disappear and a new being, a new complete being should show up. So the idea of half of his side being whatever it is doesn't really make sense. And the fact that his own attack, actually, now that I think about it, his own attack was able to inflict damage on him. Like, I don't think it was Goku's Kamehameha that did that damage. I think it was actually his own, whatever God attack that he did that dealt damage to him. So I don't know what that was all about. I mean, the Grand Elder Kai that was there at the time explained it as if that, you know, that's the manifestation of all his rage and anger and how he carries out his hatred towards humans, stuff like that. So that was kind of confusing as well. We also saw Goku actually use Kaioken again after, you know, pretty much losing his ability to move his arms and stuff like that. He used, you know, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, and that was actually pretty dope to see. And we should obviously see the after effect later on in the episode, because, you know, as you guys remember back in the tournament, when he used the Kaioken, it had a really severe side effect to his body. So that should be interesting to see again in the near future. So yeah, there's was actually one more thing that I actually didn't like about this episode, and it was the fact that Goku was able to push back that attack all by himself, yet Trunks and Vegeta, who couldn't do it themselves. Like, Vegeta went to the hyperbolic time chamber and trained for what I believed a day, so that would be a year in the hyperbolic time chamber, and he came back and he still is below Goku in terms of strength, even though Trunks has shown to be as strong as Super Saiyan 3, and we got, you know, Vegeta who has Super Saiyan Blue, and those two struggled a bit to push that ability, to push that attack back. Yet Goku was able to do it on his own, you know, inconsistency, but you know, it's Dragon Ball. We shouldn't really think too much about it. It's how it is. So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this episode? Like, for entertainment wise, it's actually pretty good. It's pretty awesome to see. But when you start to focus on the lore and the plot holes and all that stuff, you start to see the flaws that's happening in the episode itself. What's your ranking for Zamoza as well, like in terms of a villain? Like right now, he's not really above, for me personally. Cell and Frieza are still above top tier villains in the Dragon Ball universe. I feel like he's above the androids. I never really liked the androids all that much when they showed up, so he's above them. But after that, obviously Cell, the Perfect Cell, obviously is above that as well, because they gave us a pretty epic fight as well. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, guys. I'm Stream Press. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.